What is going on, guys? It's your boy, MrBabyHandsome, and this is our solo Corp Beast guide. This is currently the best method in the game right now for killing Corp Beast. It's roughly 8 to 10 kills per hour and 4.5 mil GP profit per hour, but it does have some pretty steep requirements. I would only recommend doing this if you have at least base 90s, a Fang, a Void Waker, and a Dragon Warhammer on your accounts. Until you have those, honestly, don't touch this boss. I'll throw up the recommended best in slot gear off of the wiki page up on the screen right now. We're currently just using Full Missouri, a Blood Fury, Ring of Suffering, the Fang, the Void Waker, Dragon Warhammer, and then a swap into the Mythical Cape and Tyrannical Ring. You can also bring in Inquisitors if you have it, or an Elder Maul. Those are definitely going to be best in slot here, as well as a Torva Full Helm. We don't have those yet, so that's all good. As far as inventory setup goes, you want to bring in a Saturated Heart. This will actually increase your magic defense. Corp Beast is a very mage-heavy boss. He's going to be dumping mage attacks on you, so the higher your mage defense is, the longer you're going to survive, and the more DPS you'll be able to output. And then we got some Divine Super Combats, a cannon, a ton of games necklaces. You can actually swap this into a left-click Corp Beast Telly, so you can one-click them, saves you a couple of ticks. And then we got the Desert Amulet 4 to teleport over to the Statuette. This is going to be a little bit better than having a pool in your house, as it does actually overheal you to 106 HP. But if you don't have the Desert Elite Diary completed, then just use your house pool. And then we got to teleport out, some cannonballs, a Book of the Dead for thralls, and then for runes, you want to bring in blood runes, fire runes, cosmic runes, death runes, earth runes, astral runes, and law runes. These are all needed as we're using the lunar spellbook to cast vengeance, and then spellbook swap over to the Arceus spellbook for thralls. So yeah, a ton of requirements here, but let's just jump into what a kill is going to look like. Let's teleport over to the Corp Beast layer, throw on Protect from Mage as well as Piety, pot up with our Divine, click on your Saturated Hearts, and then we're going to throw a cannon into the center of the room. This is basically going to tell other people that this room or this world is taken, and the cannon also can one-hit the core, which is very helpful, so you don't have to keep going back and forth and running away from it. So yeah, let's head back over, let's heal up, and then we're gonna dump some Dragon Warhammer specs. You want to get 3 specs to land, so let's just fast forward until we can get 3 specs landed on Corp Beast. There's spec number 1, spec number 2, and spec number 3. And now we can swap back over to our Fang, our Ring of Suffering, and our Infernal Cape. And honestly, for the rest of the fight, this is all you're going to be doing. You're going to be spamming your Vengeance, spamming your Spellbook swap to cast your Thralls, and then spamming your Void Waker spec whenever you reset. Whenever you reset, he's going to have some pretty insane HP regen. He typically regens about 80 to 100 HP every time you leave the instance. The Void Waker spec will negate all that damage, and the Fang is going to slowly whittle him down. So yeah, let's get our Vengeance up. Let's get our Thralls ready. Let's jump in, pop our Thralls, spec him twice, and then we're going to camp the Fang until we have to telly out. You're going to telly out every time you get below 44 HP. His max hit is 43. Make sure you teleport out every time you get below 44 HP. And once you come back in, double Void Waker spec, and then camp the Fang for the rest of the time until you teleport back out. Here we go, we teleport out, reset, go back in, Void Waker spec, and you're just going to be doing that over and over again until he dies. There's going to be a couple other mechanics that we can talk about with the core that he spawns. So yeah, we'll wait until that happens. It's going to be usually midway through the fight. He'll just spawn randomly. There's going to be a core that's going to be bouncing around, and we'll show you exactly what to do to deal with him. We can cast Vengeance again, and then Spellbook swap. The Spellbook swap does have a bit of a stall, so typically you don't want to do it when you're fighting him or if you're low HP, as he can combo you out while you're doing it. So I'd recommend doing it either when you're running into the cave. So like right here, you can click it and then it'll stall it and then you'll enter the room. Or if he's at the end of the room here, you can do it as you run over to him. That's typically when I'd recommend using the Spellbook swap. Here we can cast Spellbook swap as we run into the passage, and it'll actually get us in without losing any ticks. And And there we go. He spawned his Dark Energy Core. This thing's going to keep bouncing back and forth, but it looks like our cannon actually sniped it. Typically, your cannon will just kill it off randomly during the fight, as it did there. And the only way to get it to not to respawn again is if it kills it mid-air. So if you're away from the instance and your cannon ends up killing it while it's just standing still, you'll notice that it's going to have a little bit, or it's going to basically have some ashes that spawn underneath it. And that's when you know when you haven't killed it off properly. And it's just going to respawn, and then you just have to keep bouncing back and forth so it doesn't damage you. But yeah, that's basically it. That's all the mechanics you have to know for this boss. We're just going to fast forward until the end of the fights, and then just keep resetting, keep Voidwaker speccing, keep Vengeancing, and keep summoning our thralls whenever we can. Here we go. This should be the last bit of the fights. There you go. He's down for the count, and we got some antidotes. That's all you got to know for killing Corp Beast. I hope you guys get lucky with the sigils. Hope you guys get the pets. And yeah, enjoy the RNG. I pray for you guys to get something juicy early on. I love you guys. Peace.